Hello everyone, I'm Marian and today I'm making a Halloween themed soap with glow in the dark little embeds or confetti, and I guess is it the same thing, confetti embeds? I don't know. But anyway, our fragrance oil is Black Magic Sangria by Crafter's Choice. It's very fruity and rich, I guess where the sangria comes in, and I just thought it'd be a really cool choice for this particular soap. Now my butters have already been melted and combined with my oils. My goat milk is in there, so I like to get my goat milk really well blended in with my oil because goat milk, of course, has all those wonderful little fats that is so good for our skin. Now, since this soap does have a Halloween theme to it with the bright neon Halloween colored confetti in it, I've decided to make the base black. So I'm adding activated charcoal here. I'm making 3 pounds of soap, so I'm using 1 tablespoon of activated charcoal. That was 2 half tablespoons of activated charcoal that I added there. Now, I haven't added my lye mixture yet, so I can really just add it right in there, get it blended up really well, and don't have to worry about pre-mixing it or anything like that. So next, I'm going to add the fragrance oil, pouring it over my spatula to help keep as few air bubbles out of my mixture as I can. And I like to stir it. I just stir, 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 and just make sure there aren't any fragrance oil pockets left in the mixture. I just want to have it really well blended. Plus I get to kind of scrape the bottom, scrape the sides, and make sure that all of that activated charcoal is well blended in the mixture. All right, well, it is looking good. So now it's time to get the blender set back up and add our lye mixture. Now I do soap at room temperature. I whip up my oils and butters or melt them, get them all melted, my lye mixed together the day before, night before, and let it sit and get to room temperature. Room temperature in our house right now is usually anywhere from 72 to 74 degrees because it is summer. But it's time to blend. Got to get it blended up, get it emulsified. And because I am adding these cubes or this confetti, I do want my trace to be more of a medium trace to be able to hold them so they don't just sink to the bottom of my loaf. This is where you do have to be careful. You don't want to over blend. You don't want to get it too thick and then where it's just you've got big clumps of soap that you're trying to get into your mold. It always comes out with lots of air pockets and things that just really, it's just not very pretty and you won't be happy with it. So just get it to a light medium. You see how it's just it kind of is thick when I move it, but it's not real thick yet because it's going to continue thickening up. Now I'm going to add half of this mixture, just like fill the loaf up about half full. Trying to turn it where I'm not getting in front of the camera. Could have moved my loaf mold over just a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, we're going to add about fill the loaf about halfway up. Now I'm just beating it down here, and just in case there are any air bubbles, it could beat them out. And I am going to add a little bit of this mixture over into this little funnel pitcher so that I can add it over the top of the soap once I add the confetti into the mix to have a nice smooth top. So you see that? Aren't they pretty? It's like a neon pink and green and orange and purple. And I added some glow-in-the-dark pigment in there so that they will glow in the dark. So I've never used it before. We're going to see if it works. So make sure you stay to the end of this video, and because we're going to test it out there once we get our loaves cut. Now all of these ingredients are the things that I use, that I enjoy using. I do have them in our description to this video. So if there's anything that you're interested in, that glow-in-the-dark pigment, the link to it is there as well. Now you'll see here, I'm trying to add it to one side of the loaf. I wanted more of the confetti on one side so it would be more asymmetrical rather than symmetrical. So, and then to have a little less on the other side, just to give, I don't know, just a little more, kind of catches the eye, a little more attractive, I guess. Is that the right word? I don't know. I like the look of it. I like the look of asymmetrical things. So that's what I was going for. But you'll see here in just a minute that my obsession with bubbles in my soap made my confetti flatten out across the top there, and me having to micromanage the soap, beating it on the counter, making sure all the air bubbles are gone, kind of flatten my confetti out across it. So a lesson to myself for next time. Now this is where the little bit that I put off to the side, it kind of thickens up when it sits off there. So if you take it and just, it's really weird. You know, you beat it with a blender, it thickens the soap. But if it sits there and thickens and then you whip it up, it actually makes it more pliable. It thins it to a degree where it's easier to pour it and to use it, move it around. Now as a soaper, you know you want to get all of that soap out of there. You don't want to waste any, plus it's a whole lot easier to clean later on. So I'm just going to kind of get it spreaded around there, smoothed out, make a little bit of a design on top, and then we're going to process it in the oven. Well, I have been counting the hours, and it is finally time to cut this soap. I don't know when I've been more excited about cutting a loaf of soap and to see what is inside. And this was not a technical design, but it's such a fun one, and I love the colors. I love the holidays, and so here we go. Now you'll see it was just a simple design on top. I keep my loaves pretty flat on top so they fit in my soap box as well. But let's get the little end cut off here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I like that. But do you see how it's kind of a stripe of confetti across there? That's what I'm talking about. Beating it down did that rather than keeping my little heel and like I was going for. But it's very, very pretty. I am super pleased, and I just can't wait to take these to market and put them up on in my shop. But first, I really need to come up with a name, and I could use your help. So please leave any ideas you have in the comment section below. I really do appreciate it.